joining the lobby. Yeah.
So we are live now. Round 9 GTSA GT7 Season 1. Looks like S&P 3 pros and joining, so there's space to Mr. co-commentator KBL Wolfie.
But can I jump in?
Yeah.
So
I'm just going to let some pictures go around here. The guys are still practicing. I think they're qualifying starting in about 2 minutes. I'm just going to quickly do a few admin stream sharing things.
No problem. Sounds good.
Yes, I'm back. Welcome to everyone that's joined in so far. Welcome, Mr. KBL Wolfie. We're almost ready for qualifying here at Gran. How are we doing today? I believe you had some bad luck again in your race. This season never ends for you.
Hello, Stephen. Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks that I can join you on the commentary team again. Yeah, it's not been a fun second half of the season. Connection issues, but that's all. That brand new fiber connection, and yeah, having a good race and the load shed me out of schedule. So it was funny.
You just don't have any luck, especially after you won the first 2 races of the season. What was it? One
downhill.
A disconnect, then another disconnect or load shed. I can't remember. And now load shed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no.
Just not your season.
Yeah, no, it didn't go well the second half, but well, it is what it is.
Did you manage to get 7 races done so far? Did you miss 2 or did you disconnect?
I disconnected in 2, and then I had load shedding out of schedule tonight. So if I do the last one,
so you should. I think what I'm saying though is you should have got points for those ones that you disconnected. So you're still at least going to have a decent-ish finishing position. It's not like you're going to lose out. You have 5 or 6 out of 7 Pool 1 scores, and then obviously there's other one next week's race, and the disconnects will obviously not count. But yeah, we've got qualifying starting now, riding with Serious Sam, who led up until the last lap last week and then dropped to second last place once his tyres died. So that was quite a bit of hard luck for him, and looking forward to seeing how he's going tonight. We've got Superman in the chat saying hello to everyone. He also had terrible luck last week when the rain started going on to the runoff from the chicane, and it reset him and wouldn't let him go into the pit. So he had to do a whole lap in the pouring rain, if you guys remember. Anyone else that's on the chat, say hi, let us know who's there and how your races went, how the combo went. Did you win? Did you obviously manage to beat KBR Wolfie?
That's easy to do. You just need to stay in the lobby.
How's it to Anton saying hello? I see we've got a couple guys who are on hards, and they're obviously going to start the race on hards, but they're pitting now to fit the softs for qualifying after burning a bit of fuel. I also saw a Stiginator got disconnected, I think. So better in qualifying than the race, but let's hope he can get back in.
Correct. Yeah, Serious Sam took a gamble last week on the tyres and it didn't pay off him. So let's see how he shapes up this week. This is really a fun combo that you have here, Stephen. It's a good car with good fuel and tyres, and the track is fun to drive, so it makes for some entertaining racing. It's not easy to pass, even if you're quite a bit faster than the guy in front of you, so it's going to give us some interesting racing.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking at some of these liveries in the comments. SRT for the win. Don saying hard luck. It was a great combo. Some great, I think, racing, but it cuts off on my view. So yeah, we're just looking at the title contenders here for the season. Obviously, at the start of the last race, or 2 races ago, it was quite close with 4 of you. You obviously dropped out, and then who was the other one?
Branavane, RBS, and Sam.
So Sam and Branavane didn't have the greatest scores last week. RBS got a 3rd, so he's probably in the lead at the moment. Superman was also quite close, but he dropped off because of that issue with the pits. He was done in pool 2 this week, so that's going to cost him a bit in the title chase. He was doing so well. He was 2nd or 3rd, I think, when that happened. But yeah, we've got the first laps coming in shortly, so let's see where the times are sitting.
Quality times should be low 34s. They should go a bit faster than that over the next few laps. You're probably looking at a 34.3, 34.2 as a solid quality whole lap.
Definitely. I'm looking at RBS at the moment. Great Sabenza, our season sponsors, decals all over the car. Nice and colourful, but a Thrustmaster. We've got Sticks also there, one of the Pace cars. Pace Motorsports. It's Batmobile. He's running the Pace colours. If that's trademark infringement or what's allowed. Branavane running Lumo colours again, just to make sure everyone can see him in the dark. KBR EcoBoost. We've got Hollywood here running his gold and silver black colour scheme. Then we have a Pace Boy Serious Sam, Ghost Killer. We've got another one of your teammates, KBR Bridgens. I know my co-livery creator here, Trivs, but I'm sure he'd appreciate Bridgens' livery. OJ running Pace. Then he asked to be spoken about, Shane. Young DC Gaming running a Red Bull livery on his radial. He's second. Is this his second time into Pool 1 this season?
Yes, it's his second time into Pool 1. So
I think the Pool 2 guys need to stop breaking on the line for him.
Yeah. Well, the only way you can get better is to drive against quicker guys. So he's approaching it correctly.
There we go.
The more exposure he gets, the better.
1:36.6. So currently he's 2 seconds off the pace. And the guys don't realise that someone will look and say, oh geez, 2 seconds off the pace, that's nowhere close. But some of you Pool 1 guys are so stupidly fast that it just embarrasses the rest of us. So we've got last week's winner, OJ.
At the moment it's very competitive.
Yeah. It's also, we've got different fuels, not different fuel, different qualifying strategies at the moment, with a bunch of guys have pitted. Some other guys are already on their second or third flying lap. And yeah, this is all going to shake up with 4 minutes to go still. You see DC getting a nice toe there behind OJ, so that should also help quite a bit with the long straights here, sitting in somewhat slipstream.
We're now getting to the business end of this qualifying session, so let's see who's runs strats there. RBS puts in a solid time, 1:34.5. It's more what I expect of him.
Yeah, I've been seeing him putting in low 34s already. He's definitely keen for this title. I think he's got a plan for that first place TV already.
He certainly does, I can guarantee you that. Yeah. He did in practice now, just before the race, he did a 34.1.
Yeah. So let's see if OJ and DC approve. DC using the slipstream, and he jumps up to 9th now, improving by 6/10 of a second. Good lap there. But yeah, Steele surprisingly down in 13th, and Stignator has rejoined the lobby, but he's only done 1 flying lap so far. Obviously, he's going to be handicapped.
Steele is the outside contender.
Yeah, yes, there's always an outside contender. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Look, he had that bad race that dropped him to Pool 2, and he came back and he had a decent result last week, and that kept him in the running. So if he can do 2 strong races tonight and next week, he's definitely in the running, depending on what happens to the other guys.
Yeah. So looking at the time here, there isn't really enough time to pit for any of these guys now if they're going to carry on. I'm going to say that RBS is going to probably go into pits. He's on his low fuel. He's got pretty warm tyres, but with 8 minutes to go, he might just get 1 more lap in after this. So why not push 34.9 that time around. We've got Giller, Mr. Branovan, also just dropped off the pace. I think their tyres are gone now.
Steven, just a question. Do we enter the race, or do we just keep out of it when they start?
It generally, with you being in the lobby, it starts us anyway, so I just exit as soon as it puts us on the grid.
Okay, cool.
I think I'm in a Sylvia stall. While we were talking, Hollywood Ghost Killer pace first went 0.10 faster than RBS, but then Hollywood went a 10th quicker than him, 34.4.
Hollywood did it. Yeah.
Great lap by Mr. Hollywood. Sam's running with the penalty, so he's in 8th, and he's probably not going to be improving. Hollywood just changed him to the hard tyres.
That is a solid quality lap, 1:34.4. Very
good. Killers on a lap at the moment. See if OBS running on fumes here. See if he improves, and then we'll run through the field behind.
Very good quality from Dutchman. I see him in 4th place on my list at the moment.
Yeah, he has jumped up into 4th ahead of Giller.
That's a very good quality lap.
Into 6th.
First time into Pool 1.
Stiganator into P7 with 2 laps, I'd say less. RBS just missing out on pole, but improving 0.01 ahead of Mr. Ghost Killer pace. 0.001 on those older tyres. Great job. We're also still on the lap. But Hollywood stopped. Ghost Killer is not pushing. Dashman, they should be starting now. See, Stignator only got 4 laps in there.
Yeah. The fact that he got out of the lobby was a bit of a problem.
Yeah. I mean, he's had problems with every race, so just exit there quickly.
Did I do it right?
Okay, so you can go back. Okay.
I think that's fine.
So I just had to exit because for some reason when you start at the start of the race, it doesn't allow for you to change to a TV camera view. So we're away with Hollywood leading, RBS, Ghost Killer, Dutchman, Runavane, Bridgens, EcoBoost and Stignator, your top 8 off the line.
Clean start through turn 1. All of them there through there with no issues, running nose to tail. Well done, guys.
This little section they're coming through now is quite tricky. Obviously, you get it a little bit sideways, touching the curve there, and you see Hollywood's jumping around a little bit.
Sticks in serious spaces, making a move at the back for 9th and 10th. Well done, Pace. Good move there.
The front's still pretty static at the moment. We see lots of guys using the track limits. I think there's Dutchman just touched the wall with a little front end damage, which has got Runavane coming past him, and then Bridgens trying to find a way as well. Just go a little bit further back. We've got quite a few people looking, EcoBoost now looking up the inside of Bridgens. We don't have any chaos here. The big hairpin, everyone's going to behave.
Well done. Nicely done by all the guys, respecting each other, giving each other space to drive.
Great job. Just going slightly slowly through the back, so you've really got some guys pitting on the hards to get rid of them. That is just part of the race tonight. You have to use all 3 of the tyre compounds, hard, softs and mediums. So there's already a few guys that started on hards, getting rid of them. RBS being 1, EcoBoost, Giller, Hollywood, Bridgens and DC Gaming. So now
it's a good strat that they're doing, and getting that hards out of the way. You can do a long stint on the mediums, running solid times, and then get 8-9 laps on the softs at the end.
You obviously run similar pace to these guys. What was the time difference from soft to medium and then medium to hard?
Soft to medium is about 1.5 seconds. You can do 34s, 35s on softs, and then low 36s to high 35s on mediums, and then high 36s, 37s on hards.
A couple of guys saying hi in the comments. KBR for the win. Muzz saying that you had the same strategy with the early pit. So yeah, it is a tactic, and now, like in my case, I battled to make the fuel last. So what I was planning to do about 2 or 3 laps on the hards at the start, and then do obviously the same idea, but then load shedding. I didn't bother practicing that or seeing how well it would work. Dutchman after the pit stop, first time in Pool 1, running in P2 at the moment. Stignator up to P3. Obviously we've had 4 or 5 guys pit up front. There we go, Sticks doing similar to what I would have done, and pitting at the start of lap 3, then lap 2. So he also started on the hard, getting rid of them. We're going to see that shuffle, but just quickly going through the field from the front. The guys are still running, they're all on hard tyres at the moment. RBS is on mediums. He, I think, is the first of the pitters. We've got Hollywood behind on mediums. So RBS jumping Hollywood in the pits or during the last lap here. EcoBoost is running mediums. Bridgens
all the guys have pitted is now close together, their own little train at the back,
And that was another thing, using a less powerful sporty car like this, you do tend to get these train races. It takes a lot of focus, riding close to each other. It's always good to watch in Pool 1 because the guys have so much control. I'm just loving Hollywood's livery. I did mention earlier that gold with the dark navy blue and silver or white, I can't really see.
It's like he likes doing the Alpha Tauri type of liveries, and it looks very nice.
Gold instead of the white.
Yeah, very nice. You'll find out these guys are going to run a long stint on the mediums, and then a shorter stint on softs at the end. It looks like a race-winning strat.
Well, you could go with the soft and try get a gap and then hold it off on the mediums later, but I see Dutchman now pitting from second. The other thing I thought of doing was starting on softs, just running the half tank, because that's about as far as I could get the softs to last, and then running mediums with a short hard stint at the end.
Yeah, importantly with this car, you mustn't rev it out. If you want to get performance out of it, you must rev it just over half and then shift it. You shouldn't even go past your gear indicator if you want to get maximum performance out of it. And that's good for your fuel and your tire wear, and it just gets better top speed.
So we got at the moment Ghost Killer from Sam from Stiginator. They all haven't pitted, they're running the hards on their 4th lap. I'd expect to see them coming in quite soon now. We expect them to come in already.
Yeah, so they have to come in.
I think what's the advantage of running it a bit longer?
Low fuel.
So they're taking advantage of the low fuel on the hards, and then possibly that you can push a little bit harder with your mediums. You don't have to worry about saving them. So interesting to see.
But looking at the tire life, you don't have to save them. You can drive them as hard as you want. It's more about making your fuel work. The tire multipliers are actually quite nice in this race, that you can get a long life out of each of the sets of tires.
Yeah, I had to adjust it about 3 times because I started it at like 5 and then I did laps and it just didn't go down, so I put it up to 7, it didn't go down, I put it up to 8 or 9, didn't go down, so I was like, oh, let me just put it at 10. Normally when you see times 10 on racing tires, you have a bit of a panic attack.
Yeah, so Serious Space is making his move up, so Ghost Killer still at the front, Serious Space 3.5 behind him, Stiginator up to 3rd after having a difficult quali, having a solid race so far. So let's see how this plays out if they go to pit, where they'll end up on track versus the guys that went in early. It will give us an early indication of how the strat will play out.
You can see the top 6 haven't pitted yet, so the gap from 6th place to RBS, who's the first of the guys who have stopped, is 13 seconds, and from RBS to the leader is 24.7. So that's also something. How long did a pit stop with fuel take?
I think any tires is just over 26. So if I look at that gap, I think RBS and the guys that pitted early is going to come out at the front.
Yeah, and they were ahead. RBS and Hollywood were in the lead at the time, so that's not a surprise. But they probably made it about 2 seconds so far by the tyre strategy.
I think they made up a bit more. Yeah.
These guys are still going out front. On their 6th lap now, with the fuel they're going to have to pit next time around. Stiginator's actually closed right up on Sam, got the gap under half a second. I think that's more to Sam going a bit slower last time.
It's surprising to me that they're going this far on the hards.
Well, I'm not too sure how much Stiginator practice, but the pace guys normally put quite a lot of practice in, like obviously your KBR team having lots of multiple guys running the same pace. So if they're doing it, it might not be the worst idea. I think obviously they...
No. It's obviously not a bad strat. I'm just surprised. I would have got rid of that hard tires as soon as possible, because the mediums can last 14 laps.
Well, let's see. RBS was on the mediums, and his last lap round was the fastest lap of the race at 35.6. 35.7
Hollywood's keeping him honest.
Within a 10th. Giller didn't have the greatest lap, lost 36.8. So Giller EcoBoost.
He's under a bit of pressure from the rest of the KBR guys.
Giller and EcoBoost are doing the same pace as the hard runners out front. Here we have the front.
And Bridgens is also doing well. Bridgens has been having a very solid season. Good results, good races all around.
What you can see is Ghost Killer with 0, Sam with 1%, and Stigmator with 2%. The joys of having that little bit of slipstream. Also possibly the driving style, but the fueling isn't as fast as some of the other races, so we obviously had there's a bit of an incentive to the guys to fuel save. And in the chat we got Mr. Fluffy Fast Butt, Mr. Fast Fluffy Butt, Mr. Spain, our head steward, so great to have him joining us. So with that shaking out, Ghost Killer Pace has managed to come out just ahead of Hollywood, so his strategy has worked quite nicely for him.
He did very well. But what tires is he on now? That's the question. How much did he fuel? He's on softs.
He's gone to softs, so he's going to have to
push. And he didn't fill up.
Yeah, that's why he's got the jump. He's doing a short stint here.
Yes.
Critically for him, he didn't get help. Well, he's ahead of Hollywood, so he's got 1.5 seconds to catch up on RBS, which he'll have, when he does, he'll have to go quickly. The next car behind was Sam, who's down in 7th, and Stigmator's who was right behind Sam, is in 9th, but that's just depending on how much fuel they put. You can see Sam is a little bit less than Stigmator. Sam's joined that big fight with Giller, Bridgens, Dutchman. They're all together there now with Sam and Stigmator joining in.
Look how close everyone is still is after 7 laps.
Correct. Sam making a nice move on Bridgens. So Sam in 6th place is 6 seconds off the lead. Our top 10 are all within 10 seconds. Even
Sam is on softs as well, so he needs to make a push now. He's
DC Gaming 13 seconds off the lead in 12th place. He's got OJ and Jan Ali behind him. OJ won last week, and Jan Ali is always a top 5 contender. I don't know if they didn't get as much practice this week or load shedding got them down, but they're the two struggling at the moment in the drop zone.
This car is quite unique to get used to. You'll find that some people will adapt to it easier than others because it's got an interesting driving style. It's a very pointy car, so you need to get your gearing and your braking and everything right. It likes to put the nose in and set the back end out. So yeah, it's an interesting car to drive. Some people might adapt to it easier than others.
I'm just watching DC Gaming currently running in the 37s. Nice consistent times. Got a little bit of damage on his front, but he's dropped off the back of sticks now to 3.5 seconds, but he's got a 3 odd seconds lead to 13, so we'll keep an eye on him, see if he manages to maintain his goal of staying up for the final race. And that's the thing, everyone has a goal. You might want to win, or you just might want to get to pool 1 and manage to stay there.
Exactly, especially if you're a new visitor to pool 1, your goal should be to stay there.
Yeah. I'm looking, Ghost Killer's dropped, he had dropped about 2/10 off RBS, but he's just pulled it back with the extra grip on that last turn. This is also going to help Hollywood in his battle with RBS, because he'll be getting a bit of fuel saving in behind Ghost Killer with the softs. They've got a 3.5 second lead on EcoBoost, but then it comes that big pack, EcoBoost, Mr. Brandeveen looking for a move into turn 1. Does he go for it? Yeah. No, he backs out. EcoBoost gets a bit sideways.
It's not over yet. Let's see what happens into the next corner. Up on the inside. I think EcoBoost will keep it. Yeah, good racing. It's a difficult section to go side by side, so well done, guys.
Yeah, in the chat there, I can't tell you exactly what it said. There was Dean Henning telling us how his race went, just giving us the rundown of his pit strategy. He joined us for the first time tonight. He joined, pool 5 was a bit empty, so the guys that were new, they jumped in there and he won that race. So technically he was in pool 6, but now I think that will earn him the right to be officially in pool 5 next week for the last race. Just following Gillibrain, Sam with a half-second penalty.
Sam has a penalty.
You see Sam doing the right thing. We're just moving off the racing line. Mr. Brain looking for the overtake. Goes in a bit deep.
Yep.
those two battling again.
Okay,
and just before we had Dutchman and Stignator almost coming together on the switchback. Stignator trying to stay with Bridgens, but Dutchman managing to hold them off, and they have sticks behind them.
Battles all over track. This is good racing. There's action all over.
Sticks getting a bit of a run here. Does he make the move? Stignator looking at Dutchman. He's got the inside line there. Dutchman, another guy who moved up from Pool 2 last week. He drops to 9th. I think he's possibly on controller, because as it's getting darker, I see his lights flashing. A lot of the controller guys, when they use their left analog stick, flash by mistake. So it's a top 10 now. You're still in 11th. You're still dropping back a little bit.
Is closing the gap.
DC
No, you see this quiet there. But he always comes back through the race. So let's give him a chance to play out his strat and see where he ends up, because he always ends the race strong.
I think DC must stop watching his mirrors, because that gap's gone from 3 seconds down to 1.5 to the 2 behind him. See, we've got a bot spamming weird websites on the chat.
Okay, there's a change for the lead. RBS got overtaken by Ghost Killer, but RBS is in a great position to come back, going side by side.
If I was RBS, I'd just stick him behind Ghost Killer. Ghost Killer's setting the fastest lap last time around. He's got the softs. He's going to have to put in a couple laps. So let him, if I was RBS, let him tow you along, save some fuel behind him, and then when he puts the mediums on, you put with him on the softs and jump him on the fuel. Okay.
That's exactly the plan, I think.
RBS has quite a bit less fuel, but we don't know how long because he pitted on lap 1.
Yeah.
So he will be out here for a while still. And the night is falling. It's been very dark out there.
Hollywood dropped back a bit, 2.9, but obviously
he's still in the
softs and he's on mediums.
Yeah,
he's still in the mix here.
Look at Hollywood's last lap 6, 7, 8, all 36.3s and a 36.1 and a 36.2. He's just churning out those lap times consistently. It's just that Ghost Killer and RBS are going a little bit faster. They're in the high 35s versus him in the low 36s.
Yeah, they're running on softs, obviously having that pace advantage on the soft tyres. But let's see how long they make that softs last. That's also
RBS is still on the medium.
Yeah, he's probably going to be there for another few laps, depending on his fuel. Sir Sam made a mistake, went into the wall. Small light damage to the front.
Yeah,
and then some guys followed him.
Did they also follow him into the wall? He's hugging the inside line.
I saw someone touch the wall behind him. We've got a run on him now. Let's see what happens. Going into the braking zone side by side, so they're 2 brakes late.
Sam goes a little bit wide, and Ikabu's looking for the cutback. Some good racing there. Also, he's not new to Pool 1, but looks like Ikabu's has got it. He's new to Pool 1 this season and new to GTSA. Gillibrand, Mr. Branavane, the head of Bridgens. Sticks is now up to 8th. He was running in 11th a little while ago. Dutchman down to 9th. Stignator's still battling with Dutchman, who's just hit the wall. So he's got some front damage, but that cost him momentum and put Stignator right behind him again. And then Steele's closed in on him. Unfortunately for DC Gaming, I see OJ and Yanadi have both passed him on the last lap. It's not so much that he's got slower, it's just that I think they're getting the hang of it, because they were running 37s and 8s earlier. Now they've both just gone into the low 37s and high 36s, where DC's in the 38s.
Getting used to the tyres.
Yeah, still great
getting used to the tyres and the fuel wear.
Yeah. Because we know OJ winning last week with a brilliant strategy. Jan Ali's won Pool 1 races and he's a regular. I just think the two of them didn't put in as much practice this week.
Dutchman running on the
DC
mediums.
Gaming using the hooter. That's one way to throw
Dutchman
your...
is having a solid race as his first race in Pool 1, running in 6 at the moment.
Yeah, we have a bunch of guys going
well
into
done.
pits, Sticks, Bridgens and Gran. All the guys that I think will have one pit.
He was at 9th just before the pits, so yeah.
Dutchman now to 6th place. Sam's dropped back a little bit from the EcoBoost, having a rough last lap.
RBS is still right with Ghost Killer pace on his mediums.
Yeah, he's doing fantastic. He's lap, I don't know what happened last lap, he was a bit slow, but lap 11 he was at 35.0 on mediums. Ghost Killer last lap or lap 11 also was at 35.0. So yeah, he's towing him along. Like I said, the gap's now from about 2 seconds when pace passed RBS to about 4.1. So he's just sat there, used the tow. You can see RBS and Hollywood are running out of fuel. They're going to have to pit now.
They're going to pit now, yeah. I was about to say they're probably going to come into the pits now.
Yeah, well, if they don't, they're going to be retiring. Watch RBS.
So yeah, the soft guys still have a bit of fuel left. But the tyres are getting worn now.
Five laps later. So it's now lap 12 done, so the guys pitting now are going to have to put the softs on and run for 9 laps.
8 laps. End of lap 30. Yeah, 8 laps.
Is it end of lap 30?
Yeah.
The leader's on 14.
So yeah, now we need to see the gap, Look, the race is on here between Ghost Killer and Serious Space. For RTA, Stiganator is still in it. He's only 4.8 seconds behind pace. So these are all these drivers can come out of the pits very close together, and then it's going to be a final sprint to the end.
This is Stiganator currently on the fastest lap from sector, but that's only sector 1. He's got Dutchman behind him now after them battling on and off quite a while. These guys are, I think, once everything shakes out, they'll be 8th, 7th, 8th around there in that big pack again. Our front runners are definitely going to be Ghost Killer, RBS and Hollywood still.
Yeah, I think RBS and Hollywood's got a good opportunity here to end up 1 and 2 after the pit stops.
Hollywood RBS going past OJ up into 5th. So his pit stops are done, he's sitting 26 seconds behind.
EcoBoost is only 3 seconds behind Hollywood.
Yeah.
EcoBoost is in this race once everybody pits. Let's see whether they filter out onto the track. But this is going to be a battle to the line here.
Ghost Killer pace comes in only 1 lap later, so he's going to fit the mediums and Stignator fitted. I thought he might have snuck 1 more lap, but yeah, all the soft runners are now pitting. So RBS should take the lead again. He was 26 seconds behind Ghost Killer pace, which was about a pit stop, so we just have to watch where Ghost Killer is coming out the pits. And does he manage to hold him off into turn 1? He does.
He does, yeah.
But now he's got the mediums and RBS has the softs, so that should be quite interesting to see how it goes. Gianelli hasn't pitted. Hollywood is 4th on the road, but technically 3rd. Sam's just done his pit stop. Sam jumping.
Sam and EcoBoost is close together. That's going to be a battle to the end. With EcoBoost now on the softs and Sam on the mediums.
Brunavain's only 2 seconds behind. Then it's another 2.5 to Stignator, who's now 8th. Bridgens 9th. Bridgens is one of the early stoppers. So those guys that put it on lap 12, they have to do quite a long stint on those softs. See Dutchman being one of them that stopped last lap.
9 laps is too much on the softs, but 8 laps is good. I see RBS is making a move on Ghost Killer at the front. They're side by side into the hairpin. Okay.
Looks like he held it around the outside.
Yeah, well done.
And so the spot there you have to cut away it's quite interesting watching the guys going to the hip, and you've got Sam and EcoBoost battling as well.
Side by side going into the last corner.
EcoBoost
on the better line though for the first turn. For the first corner, yeah. Corner.
Following Sticks and Dutchman. Get back in now.
With Sam and EcoBoost battling, Brunnerwein is back in the equation there. Only 1.4 behind the two of them.
Yeah. Look at Sam trying to hold it around the outside at the moment, which gives him the inside for the next corner. They're both... Sorry. Sam's on the mediums now, and what's EcoBoost also on mediums or softs?
He's on the softs.
The need for Sam to hold it around the outside on the harder tires.
That was some very good racing between the two of them going through that first sector. The car is quite loose in that first sector, so to run side by side like that is exceptional.
Like you say, Giller's closed. I'm just quickly moving a little bit back to front. Jan Ali still hasn't pitted for his final stop. He's running in third at the moment. Hollywood's closing into 1.4, so he might lose a little bit of time if he doesn't get past quite quickly. Obvious is disappearing into the night. Ghost Killer Pace, it looks like he just went straight there. I don't know if he's had a disconnect, because it doesn't look like he's trying to drive.
Happened to him.
Was that lag? He's just disconnected.
He's got disconnected.
That's such bad luck. That was second all day.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh goodness, sorry Ghost Killer.
We used to blame it on Third World Internet, but now we have ESCOM and GT7 service to complain about. Jan Ali going into the pits.
I think EcoBoost got the move done on Series Sam. Series Sam is now fighting with Brunnerwein, I think, into turn 1. Brunnerwein on the inside, running nose to tail in sector 1.
Well, it's interesting at the back of the pack. Jan Ali's just pitted for his softs. He comes out about 5 seconds ahead of OJ, but DC Gaming's got the gap to OJ down to a second. OJ on fresh-ish softs and mediums, and DC running the softs. So with
DC has got a good chance to get back here and take a few places.
We got Manny saying that Ghost Killer Pace has got load shed.
Oh no. I also
know
that feeling as well.
Whoever finishes last year is the last person that's going to get relegated to Pool 2. So that's this little fight, OJ versus DC Gaming at the moment. So it's last week's winner versus last week's Pool 2 winner.
Okay, so Brunnerwein has got the move done on Series Sam. So we're running at the moment RBS in the lead with 6 seconds from Hollywood. Hollywood 5 seconds from EcoBoost. And EcoBoost 1.9 seconds from Brunnerwein. They're having a good race. His Pace has got another
he's got a half-second penalty, but he was with EcoBoost. Now he's behind Brunnerwein, so he's dropped about 2-3 seconds on this lap. Might have had it off or run wide or something. Next comes Bridgens.
Is also now coming back into this equation. He's running good pace. I see he just got into the 35s now, so we'll have to check that gap between him and Sam for the rest of the race.
He's just got past Stignators running in the 36s. Sticks also running around the Stignators on the mediums, and Sticks is on the softs. So you should be catching up. Dashman 9th place also on the softs.
I don't know, Brunnerwein is
also just disconnected. So it was our 4th place runner.
And he was running in a solid 4th, Sticks is having a good race in Pool 1, I must say. Well done, Sticks.
Yeah, he's been coming strong the whole season.
He's been in the mid-pack all the time. Dutchman as well.
Keeps improving. DC Gaming just let out the biggest celebration because he is now safe in Pool 1 for next week. And he's looking to make a move on OJ.
So that's soft, well done, up the inside.
OJ pull into a slipstream. We're going to stay with this little battle. I think actually the biggest celebration is the Pool 2 guys, because they don't have to listen to DC the whole week again.
He's quite busy in the chat, I must say.
He's a character. You get
DC Gaming, he should have committed to, well, King of Monza wasn't coming back at him after take the inside. I would have stayed just slightly on the inside to make sure that you cut off that move. But all well as they go through that turn cleanly.
Yeah, back to the front management mode. RBS is 6.6, 6.5 ahead still. Maybe made a mistake because it just dropped to 5.8. But still well in control of the race. Got lots of fuel, got some tyres left for the last 3 laps. Should be able to coast this one home. We've got Hollywood now second after Ghost Killer Pace's disconnect. I was wondering if he was going to be able to catch up to Ghost Killer Pace having the soft tyres versus the mediums, but we didn't obviously get to find out. It was about 2 seconds at the time.
Yeah, they were busy closing down the gap there, but yeah, it's too bad that Ghost Killer disconnected now, because we would have had an interesting race.
And then
Pace is dropping back a bit from EcoBoost.
EcoBoost, yeah, he's running a strong 3rd place. Good to see him back towards the front. Had a couple good races and
Bridgens
a couple. Bridgens
is starting to apply the pressure on Sir Sam. He had a 2-second gap.
Sam's in a bit of a predicament here because he is fighting RBS for the title, and with RBS out front, dropping any positions now might not obviously suit him too well. Bridgens running 5th, Sticks I think's just overtaken Stignator, who's got a penalty as well. Sticks in the Batmobile. Dutchman coming on strong as well with his softs. 2 laps to go.
Dutchman is running good times as well, so he's still in this battle for 6, 7.
So Tooney's saying thanks S1, the Pool 2 is safe from a week of DC. So technically the DC thanks Giller's DC has saved DC. So Pool 2, buy Giller some beers for next week when he's in your pool. Sticks and Stignator starting a little battle there, but that's going to end when Stignator hits the penalty line. Dutchman should get a bit of a run. We'll stay with him for that. And even now with all the little issues guys have had, slides and penalties, the field isn't too spurred. Everyone's still on the same half a lap. If you look, RBS going into the hairpin, the other guys are already halfway through sector 2.
Yeah, that's what I said. This car allows for some close racing. There's been close racing on track throughout the race now. The fact that the guys ran a few different strats also made it interesting. We had some guys committing early. Some guys ran the first 5-6 laps on the hards. So the different strats is giving us some good racing here in Pool 1 tonight.
I'm just riding on board with Stignator now, some different camera views in this little radical car. Quite interesting just to give you guys a bit of a different perspective. The guys racing, I don't know if you joined earlier, but if you haven't already, let us know how your race went. Also a big shout out to Sabenza for sponsoring this season, some awesome prizes. Everyone who has done 7 races, obviously excluding people like me, admin, we're going to throw you into a lucky draw, and one of the people that did 7 races are going to win a Logitech G29. So how cool is that, Mr. Wolfie?
Awesome prize for someone who doesn't have a wheel. Yeah, I hope someone that doesn't have a wheel wins it.
Correct. That's what I was about to say. I'm going to request, obviously we can't force anyone to do anything. If you want it, fair and square, but if the person who wins it has a G29, give away your old G29 to someone else in the community.
Correct. Correct.
Yes, you could probably sell it for.
Or give it to GTSA, and they can have another draw.
We can have another draw.
I can get that wheel.
But
Sam had an issue somewhere because he dropped down to 6 behind Sticks, and Dutchman is taking him now. Well, they're in a battle at least. Sam Dutchman is sticking it around the outside. Oh, what a move!
Remember, here we go. Sorry, I missed RBS hitting the line there. So first RBS, second Hollywood. Great to have Hollywood back on the podium. EcoBoost celebrating with his best lap of the race.
Yeah.
RBS set the fastest lap.
In fourth.
Look up. Yeah.
Well done. Dix, well done in fifth.
Dutchman sixth, seventh. Stignator eighth. Ninth place, Steele. Jan Ali coming across for 10th. DC Gaming has managed to catch OJ and hold them off, so great there. OJ on his mediums.
Yeah, that was a good race. Well done, everyone.
So as we were just saying, if someone's got a old T150 or something, a T80 even, if they've got a wheel that the G29's upgrade, do that. Or if you've got a Thrustmaster T300 or some fancy wheel, give away the new 29, why not? So yeah, shout out to Sabenza for that. I'm going to throw you on the deep end here, Mr. Wolfie. You're welcome to pick a teammate as well. Who was your driver of the day?
It was a difficult one because we've got some new guys in Pool 1 that had solid races, Sticks and Dutchman. But I have to say EcoBoost. He's in the deep end this season in Pool 1 and he's got another solid podium tonight. So it's between EcoBoost and Hollywood for me. RBS is always quick.
Like I said, the other two have been quick before, but they also have some up and down races. I'm going to give the Batmobile Sticks my driver of the day, solid top 5.
Yeah. Definitely,
11th,
definitely.
12th
Well done,
at one
guys.
stage, and he just kept his pace the whole race, improving, no mistakes, and he managed to jump that whole pack. I mean, if you look at him in 5th place, he was 20 seconds behind the leader. Steele was, or actually let's go, RTA Stignator was only 3 seconds behind the leader, so 5th to 8th was 3 seconds. Steele was still within 7 seconds. Within 10 seconds was Jan Ali, so that's a little difference of not getting penalties, of saving that little bit of extra fuel, not having a bad sector or lap. That's what got him from his 11th place, he was one stage, all the way up to 5th.
Yeah, it was very well run, but I must say congrats to you guys for the season. You've had really some good combos. This was another good combo and another fun combo, I must say. It's a fun car on a fun track, and look, it delivered some awesome racing tonight.
Definitely shot. So we've got Brett just giving a shout out there as well. So yeah, we have one more race. Details should be up tomorrow afternoon. Depends what time on load shedding. I actually haven't checked yet, but that will be the final. I think currently now we're probably looking at RBS leading the season. Where did Sam end there? He was 6th, 7th, somewhere there.
7th, yeah. I think RBS is now in a very solid position. If he just gets a decent result in the final race, he should be the guy that takes the championship.
Yeah, he wants that TV. But then, we still got a nice set of headphones. If anyone wants to donate them to me, my headset's microphone's giving problems. I'm using my cell phone headphones to do commentary. And then I think it was a 1-year PSN voucher for 3rd.
Yeah, so, very nice prizes. Thanks to all the sponsors. That's very nice.
Yeah, the guys that don't manage to win 2nd, 3rd, you still got something, and there's that wheel up for grabs. So until next Thursday for the final race, we'll see you then. Thanks also to Mr. Wolfie for joining.
It's a pleasure. See you next week.
See everyone next